Now we're cooking. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by, our commentator.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by Gardner Minshew, 6th-round selection in 2019 out of Washington State.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver? That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off. Usually after about 3 to 4 steps, it cuts towards the middle of the field, and now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Minshew. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ready, 90, Wolf.
Looking to throw it, Minshew. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He's going to launch this thing. And got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Cousins on target to Diggs. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Exit.
First down. Here's Cousins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
60 out, Lord. Ready?
Now on 2nd and 13. Minshew. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. Give him 9 on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here we go.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Minshew sets to throw. The open man is Westbrook. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On second down, Cook. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
A quick throw taken in by Diggs. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
No. Hey, can't.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, check. 48. Gun. Motion to backfield. Motion to the backfield. Two. 24.
Cousins again. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
On the ready.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Check. Crunch.
A shotgun give to Fournette. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
First down, Jacksonville.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. The catch made by James O'Shaughnessy, the tight end. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph. On 2nd down, Armstead. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
We got this.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Going deep for Diggs. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. The Jaguars on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and that'll bring up second down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. He's got Smith here. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
Check, check. All day, all day. Check 3. Ringo, 48. 300.
Cousins now toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going.
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now here's a throw that's taken in by Tajay Sharp, and he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Minshew throwing on third down. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered. It's both feet down for the completion.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up second down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. To throw again on second down. Minshew, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 44-yard line. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make this a second down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Ready? 70, Indy. Line 54. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Get it.
Throwing again on second down. Minshew. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Here's Minshew. Will be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first.
He's got a man complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him and keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll throw now on the final play. Completes it to Lee. So we've reached halftime here. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down.
It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Here's Cousins. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Down. 10-2 stop. Check. Watch 54. Here we go. 5.
Minshew, 1st and 10. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different looks to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Brings up third down and 5.
Cousins. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
see what you got.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Watch the run, watch the run. Check, hit it.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Fournette running out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Ready, go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Minshew, he'll set up the screen to Fournette. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They'll get 34 yards there. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. This will be caught at about the 6. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Looking to throw it, Minshew. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral. Because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Cousins the thrower. The open man is Smith. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing here, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 35.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more on that one and another first down. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Minnesota, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week.